大家好，欢迎来到跟陈老师学汉语第3课。你叫什么名字？ In this lesson, we'll learn 3 short Chinese conversations, and then we'll learn initials of Pinyin, part 2, and 什么是吗? Last is the reading practice. The first conversation. 你叫什么名字？我叫李月。叫 it's a verb. It means to call or to be called. 什么 it's a pronoun, means what. 名字 it's a noun, means name. The second character, 字, the original tone is the fourth tone, but in this word, it is pronounced in light tone. 我 it's a pronoun, means I or me. 李月 is a Chinese name. Li is the feminine name. In Chinese, we put the feminine name in the first place. In this conversation, the first sentence is a word question. I believe you've noticed that the word order is different compared with English. I'll explain it later in the lesson. Another point I would like to mention in this conversation is that we express what is your name differently in Chinese. 你叫什么名字? Literally, it means what name are you called? And 我叫李月, literally it means I'm called 李月. Let's compare them with German. 叫 in German is heißen. It means to be called. 你叫什么名字? What is your name? In German, it is Wie heißt du? Which means how are you called? 我叫李月. In German, it's Ich heiße 李月. Just like in Chinese, I am called 李月. Again, the reason why I put the German sentence here is to let you know that not all expressions in a language can be directly translated into another language. That's the difference. And we need to get used to the new ways of expressing them and pay more attention on them. The second conversation. 你是老师吗？我不是老师，我是学生。是 is a verb. It means to be. 老师 it's a noun, means teacher. 吗 it's a particle. It is used at the end of a question. 学生 it's a noun, means student. When we talk about profession English, we have to use a or an, the indefinite article, before the professions. But in German, it's different. We can't use an indefinite article before the profession. I'm a student. In German, it is Ich bin Student. In Chinese, you can either say 我是学生 or 我是一个学生。一个 means a in English. We'll learn it in the future lessons. The third conversation. 你是中国人吗？我不是中国人，我是美国人。The first new word, 人 is noun, means human, person, or people. 中国 it's a noun, means China. 美国 is also a noun. It means the United States of America. Initials, Part 2. In Lesson 1 and 2, we've learned the first part of the initials and all the finals. In this lesson, we'll learn the rest of the initials. They are zh, ch, sh, r, z, c, s, y, w. ZH is pronounced zh in Chinese. It's what you hear in George. CH is pronounced ch. It's like how you pronounce CH in church. SH is pronounced sh. It's exactly like how you pronounce SH in shy. The letter R is pronounced Z, like you hear in television. The letter Z is pronounced Z, like you hear in beds. The letter C is pronounced Ts, like you hear in kites. The letter S is pronounced S. It's like you hear in sea. The letter Y is pronounced E, like you hear in she. The letter W is pronounced W, like you hear in wow. Here, I would like to notice you that there are two initials that have the same pronunciation as two finals. Like you can see, the final I has the same pronunciation as the letter Y. They are both pronounced E in Chinese. And the final U has the same pronunciation as the initial W. They are both pronounced Wu in Chinese. In the lesson 1, we've learned the first part of the initials, but there are three initials that we don't have the same sound in English. They are ji, qi, xi. We'll learn how to pronounce them in this lesson. Ji, qi, xi. They are all with the same tongue position. The differences are the way you create the stream of the air. First of all, the tongue position. You should put the tip of your tongue behind the bottom teeth. The most important thing is that the position of your tongue is fixed during the whole pronunciation of the letter. Now, let's pronounce the first one, ji. The way you create the air is the same as you pronounce the English letter G. When you say G, the position of your tongue changes from rolling back to behind the lower teeth. The Chinese pronunciation of G is like you pronounce the English letter G, but keep the tip of the tongue behind the lower teeth all the time. And then it's G. Please always remember, the tongue position is fixed. It stays behind the lower teeth. Okay, the second one, qi. It is exactly the same way as you learned the first one, ji. The Marvel movie Shang-Chi. Chi is like the English letter G. The only difference is the way you create the stream of the air. So, you put the tongue behind the bottom teeth, then make the air the way you say chi. Then it is qi. Okay? I believe it's not that hard, right? The letter X in Chinese is pronounced xi. The way you create the air is like you say she, but you keep your tongue behind the lower teeth all the time during the pronunciation. then it's sh. In English, we tend to move our lips and tongue all the time as we talk, but the Chinese pronunciation are always with fixed tongue position. The tough thing about this is that it will not be putting your tongue in the right place. It will be keeping your tongue the same position during some of the pronunciation. So fix it down and say it. Okay, we've learned all the initials and the finals. Next thing is to read, read, and read. You will never say them well unless you have practiced them a lot of times. I've read all these pinyins in the first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone in separate videos. The links are listed in the descriptions down below, so check them out. If you read after me in those videos for several times, I believe you will get used to Chinese pronunciations very soon. Now, let's learn how do we ask a question with what, 什么 in Chinese. Let's first read these sentences. 你叫什么名字？这是什么？这是什么书？ We have two new words in this part. The first one, 这, its pronoun, means this. 书 is a noun, means book. You've definitely noticed that the word order of asking a question of what in Chinese is different compared with English. Let's first look at the answers of these questions in Chinese. The first one, 你叫什么名字? You are called what name? 我叫李月. I'm called 李月. The second one, 这是什么? This is what? 这是书. This is book. The third one, 这是什么书? This is what book? 这是汉语书. This is a Chinese book. You must have noticed that the word order in a question is the same as it is in the answer. You just replace the object by 什么, and then it becomes a question. Okay, that's it. And now you can try to make a sentence with 什么 and put the sentence in the comments below. The 是 sentence. 是 means to be. Let's read these sentences first. 李月是老师。我是美国人。我不是老师。是 means to be in English. The word order in a sentence is just like to be in English sentence, but there is a significant difference between Chinese and English. English verbs has conjugations like to be. We say I am, you are, he's, she's, it is, they are. But Chinese verbs has no conjugations. Let's take 是 as an example. We say I 是, you 是, he 是, she 是, it 是, they 是. Always 是. There is no change. Please remember, all Chinese verbs has no conjugations. All Chinese verbs, okay? The first two sentences are positive, and the word order are the same as it is in English. But the negative form is different. Let's look at the third one. 我不是老师. 不 means no or not. So The direct translation of the Chinese sentence is I not am a teacher. The structure is pretty simple. Just subject 不是 object. The tone sandy of 不. The original tone of this character is the fourth tone, and it is pronounced 不. When 不 is followed by a syllable in the first, second, or third tone, its tone doesn't change, like it is in the below words. Please read after me. 不吃，不行，不好，不喝，不能，不想。Okay? But when 不 is followed by a syllable in the fourth tone, then it changes into the second tone. Please read after me. 不会，不是，不看。Pretty easy, right? The second one, 不是, is what we've learned previously, to be not. Now we'll learn how do we ask a yes or no question with ma. Ma is a particle. It indicates an interrogative mode. When ma is added at the end of a declarative sentence, the declarative sentence turns into a question. Let's first read these sentences. 你是美国人吗？你是中国人吗？你是老师吗？ The word order of asking a yes or no question is also different compared with English. Let's first look at the answers of these questions in Chinese. The first one, 你是美国人吗？ You are an American? 我不是美国人。I'm not an American. The second one, 你是中国人吗？ You are a Chinese? 我是中国人。I am a Chinese. The last one, 你是老师吗？ You are a teacher? 我是老师。I am a teacher. Yes, the word order is the same as it is in a declarative sentence. We just add ma at last and with a question sound. Okay, I think it's not that hard. Please try to make some questions with ma in Chinese, and you can put the sentence in the comments below. Reading practice. Please read after me. 他叫姚明，他是中国人。他叫梅西，他是阿根廷人。我不是老师，我是学生，我是中国人。我是老师，我不是学生，我是美国人。Okay, that's all for lesson 3. 谢谢，下节课再见。If you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe the channel.